Hi guys, so today I'm going to discuss ways of progressing on an exercise and bringing it down or regressing. A few people who are new to this training and all uh, might not be familiar with how to modify certain things to bring it down to their beginner level or whatever their physical level is, so that they can train. Because some maybe your physical trainers prescribe push-ups, but not all the people can do push-ups in the proper position or in general. So there are a few progressions, there are a few regressions that you can do. Progressions are of course going to be for advanced athletes or advanced trainees who want to advance in their training or in certain exercises. And for that we have certain parameters. The first parameter is position. Now this is your own position. Now we have a certain classification of positions that are called fundamental human positions. That is, the prone is lying on your stomach on the ground. Supine, which is lying on your back with knees bent. Then there is the quad position, or we call it the quadrangle, the quadruple position, which is on all fours, like it's on all fours, like when you do a cat cow or something like that. The tall kneeling, when you are on both the knees, and the next one is again kneeling. It's half kneeling. It's a split stance, and the final one is standing. Point to be noted is, from prone up till standing, this is the progression. This is the progression of the position. How? In the prone position, when you are lying on your stomach on the ground, the body needs the least stability. The ground is providing all the stability that you need, and you're already on your stomach, you're lying flat. There is only a minimum requirement of your limbs and your arms to do something. Okay, so an example of prone or exercise in a prone position is very common YTW or a black burn that we do. In a supine position, again there is very less stability requirement because the floor is giving you all the stability. So the supine position is when you are lying on your back, and the hip thrust is again a very common example of supine. The quadruple position is when you're on your fours. So that is a cat cow, could be a cat camel. Cat cow is a common example. For a tall kneeling, anything you do in the kneeling position when both knees are bent, anything you do in the split stance is the split position, half kneeling. And the standing, everything that you do standing requires the most stability, requires position, requires the stability of the core, stability of the shoulders, mobility, and all these requirements. Now, very important, why is that the stability requirement goes from being a very less here and being very high there? Is because in prone, as I mentioned, there is full body contact to the ground. In the quadruple positions, you have two hands, two knees, 2 feet, that's 6. So 6 points. The more points of contact you have to the ground, the more stability you have. In the tall kneeling, you have 4, 2 knees and 2 toes. In half kneeling, you have 3, 1 toe and 1 knee and 1 knee and 1 again the other toe. And standing is just 2 toes. Now another advanced version of this would be a single leg or a single arm. Single leg or single arm stuff done is another advanced variation beyond standing. Now, how do we modify it? For example, let's take an example of a push-up. Now, if someone is unable to do a standard push-up, which is on two arms and 2 toes, they could modify it and regress it to a quadruple position where you do kneeling push-ups. So kneeling push-ups is a classic example of quadruple push-ups, quadruple position. Again, if someone is very advanced, they could do 100 push-ups maybe. To advance there, they could do push-ups on one hand or one feet, maybe, or elevate their feet. That is all, your position, your own position being changed to modify the load so as it is easier or difficult for you. So in the next video, I'm going to explain the next parameter. Thank you.